So, like, I know you mentioned before that, oh, like, you know how groups stick with a concept and they carry it on?
Yeah.
And I know you said something along those lines of maybe them carrying that concept, like, in general.
Yeah.
And after watching
The
that video, I was
world
like, so
ending
how are they
concept.
going to continue it when literally one of you guys died?
Okay, but his hands at the end twitched. So I was like, is
Oh,
he
okay,
dead?
okay, okay.
Or but
Okay.
I was really upset. I was like, Dale, no. And then I have a friend who biases him. Well, because it's Sung Yul's brother and he's the leader. And I have a friend who biases him. And he's a 93 liner, so he's basically our age. I don't know like if he's a few months younger, older, what, but he's our age, right? And my friend that biases him goes, is this a sign that he's being enlisted in the military? did they
I just
did,
literally the
did they
moment
just
he
kill him
died,
off?
I was just like, so what's the next video gonna be? Like, what is that's how I felt. That was literally my words when I was watching. I was like, so if you guys carry this concept beyond this, you guys better recap or something. Or maybe the next concept is literally gonna be zombies. He's gonna be the bad guy. That'd be cool, you know. It really was dramatic. They looked good though. It was very typical.
We should probably do our spiel before we discuss more.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Sorry guys, we got busy ranting about Golden Child's comeback, but this is Bingo Chum and K-pop tunes. Welcome for another episode. I am Chum, also known as Reina.
And I'm Bingo, also known as Lacey.
Yay! You put
And
an
this is
emphasis on the E.
you know, you gotta switch it up. You gotta keep people on their toes. And this is a what's happening episode.
It is.
We should have a title for this. What's happening? I'll come up with it later. I don't know.
What's happening in K-pop?
What's popping in the K-popping? Oh. Write that down. Don't.
Don't. K-pop round table. Except there's only
No.
2 of us at the round table.
Mm-mm.
I don't know. If we don't think of a title, I will just recap in the title what's in the episode so that way people click on it. But just remember that we're 2 fans just sharing our personal period. I have like 3 hours of sleep. I'm sorry.
I agree with everything you said. Exactly.
We are just fans sharing our personal opinions and experiences.
Yeah.
What comes after that?
So if anything that we say is, you know, off or just not correct, you know, don't get on us too hard. We're just trying our best. We're just both fans, you know.
We're out here having fun, but do point it out if we've misstated anything or provided the incorrect information. Please let us know kindly, and we will do our best to fix it and or improve on the next episode.
Yes.
That was a mess.
I don't know. I just felt like it really just settled in for me. I got exactly what you were saying. At this point, guys,
I tried my best. Yeah, you do. I'd hope after this many episodes in, you guys know the drill, but my brain just farted out.
It's alright. It happens. It happens. It is literally fine. So, we are going to talk about
many things.
Comebacks and teasers.
Yeah, well, okay, so August is like
scary.
Everybody just decided, yeah, it's a little intimidating. Everyone just decided in K-pop to just come back in August. Like, I'm used to this in October because it's just before the award shows, but everyone this year decided that they're all gonna come back in August, and I don't even know. I sent Lacey a list earlier of like, these are the things you should check out before we record today, but I know I missed a bunch
She
of
sent the list, and I was like, this is a lot. And I know that it wasn't a lot either.
I missed a
Yeah,
lot too.
yeah.
I missed so many. There's so many people coming back in August or like teasing comebacks in August, and I'm just like, what do we do? We were talking though before we kind of took off with the episode about Golden Child's comeback, because in our previous episode we had mentioned it and mentioned the medley, and we're pretty excited. And it's Golden Child, and I've mentioned in many episodes that I like them because they're Infinite's brother group, so I'm always like, Golden Child, Golden Child, Golden Child. But they had their comeback, and we were talking about the dramatics of the music video and how they killed Dale off. Spoiler alert if you haven't watched it, which it's been out since the second, so I hope you've watched it by now. Even though Lacey just watched it
Because
today.
I'm trying. Okay.
I know, and you don't remember things unless I tell you, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I hope everybody else listening has watched it though.
And if they haven't watched it, go ahead and put it on your watch queue. That's what
Yeah.
I do, and watch it on the big screen. It's really nice when it's not on your laptop.
And it's
I know.
even better because this comeback, for like the last 2 or 3 music videos, they've been, as we've mentioned previously, going back to the like music video with a plot.
Mm-hmm.
So if you put it on the big screen, it's gonna look even better.
Listen, you guys already know K-pop stars already look beautiful, and when you put them on a bigger screen, you're gonna be like, "Wow, they're beautifuler."
They're beautiful.
Crazy.
So what did you think about the song though? We were talking about the music video, and obviously last week we kind of touched on how like it was kind of ironic that it was basically
It was triggering.
it was it was reflecting a lot of what's going on in the real world right now with
Mm-hmm.
them going up to space, like everybody else going up to space and leaving people behind on this rotting planet, and then they were stealing, what were they stealing from Earth? But basically, the people that were up in space that escaped this dying planet were making it worse and killing the planet even more, which I think is obvious if you watch the music video. The crow scene, I don't know if you paid attention to the crow that made a cameo in this music video, but one instance it's alive and the next instance it's dead. And so basically the people in space are like making things worse. Then Golden Child comes to save the day and get the air back or something.
They're saving themselves.
Well, yeah, because they got left behind. Anyway, it was
A lot was
very.
happening.
There was, but it was really. It was a little weird because it's stuff that's happening now, like the space race with whatever his freaking name is, millionaire.
Bezos?
Yeah. He went to
Yes.
space for 4 hours and then came back. I think it was 4
Oh,
hours.
I didn't know that. I just know he was
Oh
trying.
yeah, he went to space, and my mom, it was really funny. She mentioned something about it, and I was like, I kind of wanted him to stay up there longer because
Send all the really rich, ignorant people. Just
well,
let them go. Just let them go.
it hurts our atmosphere. That's my only complaint. But I specifically wanted him to stay up there longer because I wanted him to realize how does one go to the bathroom in space or take a shower in space? Like they do they think it's going to be luxurious? No.
Yes.
Your crap floats around. Anyway, that's my complaint on
They
that.
destroyed this world, so they're trying to go to another one. That's just what they're doing.
And that's what was happening.
This is
in the
not
music
a conspiracy. Video. This is not a conspiracy podcast. So, Golden Child.
It was in the music video.
Yes, but I was about to go on a tangent. My thoughts. It was a good music video. I kept thinking about the game Dead Space.
Oh yeah.
Just because it's apocalyptic and in space, and that's just what I was getting with what was going on.
It reminded me.
Dramatic. People were sacrificing themselves. And I was like, this is so typical. But
It reminded me a lot of the show / book, The 100.
I've never.
Oh, it's an apocalyptic thing where like there was a war or something on Earth, and it basically there was radiation, and so
Mhm.
everybody from Earth went up to space, and they built like a space utopia, and then they sent 100 delinquents back down to Earth to check and see if it was livable again. And
Wow.
it's like teenage delinquents, so obviously
Mhm.
it's like Lord of the Flies, but modern day.
I don't
That's
like apocalyptic stuff, so that's why I've never read that. It makes me sad. Anything apocalyptic and in space makes me sad. So, and don't ask why I like Dead Space. It's not. It's a scary game. I didn't play it. I watched other people play it, but it was a good music video. And I listened to the album before I watched the music video. So when I watched it, I was like, oh my god, I love this song. So glad they did a music video. And it was great. I had a great time. Like they're so gorgeous. All the
they
K-pop stars are gorgeous, but
yeah.
they did a great job. Great dance. Stop sacrificing yourselves. Like, come on, come on.
He was the leader though, so I feel like he felt
When it
like he
comes to
had a
drama,
responsibility to save his
yeah.
members though. But
When
I
it
was
comes to
actually
drama, you
sad.
gotta do it.
Yeah, I was actually sad though. I was like, I didn't expect there to be a death, and then Dale gets shot
I
in the back
know.
multiple times, and I was like,
I
no.
was.
But then his
I was like,
fingers, like I
come
was saying
on.
before we started, his fingers started twitching, and I was like, is he
Mhm.
dead? Is he not dead? Is this how the zombie thing from the last video
It's
starts?
gonna happen. It's that or he's gonna be a robot in the next one. I'm calling it. He's gonna be an AI in the
I
next
hope
one.
not. The song, I did like you were saying the choreography was really good. I like the arm thing that they do. That looks like a salsa or a tango when they say rum tum
That's the
tum.
move I like too.
That is so fun to watch and satisfying to watch. And it's a really catchy song actually.
Yeah, it's one of the tracks I like from the album.
It I have songs on the album that I like more than it, but for a title track, I do like it.
It's
It
definitely
was a good choice.
it's definitely a good choice.
It was a good choice. So there were two other comebacks that happened that I sent you that like actually had music videos that dropped.
So one of them
I think there
was
were just two.
Somi Dum Dum.
Yeah, yeah, Somi from IOI previously. She signed with Black Label though, YG's thing after IOI
Hmm.
disbanded.
I don't remember her. I don't know if I
I
was
don't know if
into
you
it.
were into yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if you were into K-pop at the time that
Yeah.
IOI was like around, but the reason I sent it is because she signed with Black Label, YG's subsidiary that like Teddy is pretty much in
Hmm.
charge of, and that's why I sent it. Also, the main boy in that music video was cute, so that's why I sent it
He
too.
was so cute and she was so bold. I didn't have the subtitles on to read the lyrics, but I was like,
Dang
wow.
girl.
I'm like, wow, I don't know. There are some parts of the music video where for some reason I thought of Jennifer's body.
See, I was getting Clueless vibes from it. It probably had a lot to do with the outfit that she
See,
was
that's what
wearing.
I thought of Jennifer's body. In the scene where I guess she was cooking something and it was just blood all over the place.
Uh,
And I was like, this is Jennifer's body. You look good though. It was a very, very good music video. She was so cute. She's so cute. And the boy was cute. Everybody
she
is cute.
is. The boy was cute. I don't know. At first, I was like, "Oh, football player, whatever, high school, whatever." And then there was one scene where it like showed his face full on, and I was like, "You know what? He looks good."
She literally walked up to him, ate a fry, and they got really close. And I was like,
I
oh my God.
know. I do have one complaint about the song. The music video was fun to watch. The song is really catchy. I think my only complaint about it is towards the end where it hits like that
Hmm.
pickup before the song just like
Hmm.
ends. I thought we were hitting like a second chorus or a second bridge, and I felt really just like disappointed because it built up and then it was like the song is over, and I was like, dang, why couldn't they put this earlier, because it was really good.
I showed you really liked it. I didn't. I didn't really care for the song for.
I was gonna say like I don't. It's not a song that I'm gonna listen to repeatedly. I think I've
Mm-mm.
listened to it a couple times just because it's catchy, and there's been a couple days where it's been in my head. But
Mm-hmm.
that pickup, I feel like that pickup had been implemented in the song either more or earlier. I would have liked the song a little bit better.
Yeah.
That was the only thing about it that I didn't like. I was disappointed because it was like, oh, it got good, and then all of a sudden it just
It just
stopped, and I
stopped.
was like, oh, it's over.
What if it's like in her album and it's just a transition?
I think this is just a single. You know YG.
Aww.
I'm pretty YG. Like
Uh,
I'm pretty sure it's just look how many singles did they drop for
yeah.
Blackpink before they finally released the album.
Well, a girl can dream.
I know.
Well, she did a great job. It was a good music video.
Yeah,
And it was a good song, just not a song. It's just not a song for me. So
same. It wasn't
just
bad though, but it's not
mm-mm,
something that I would put on repeat multiple times.
mm-mm.
But that being
Same
said,
the same
oh
goes for
sorry.
the next one we're gonna talk
I was
about.
gonna say that being said, Sunmi as well. I told you to watch it just because Sunmi Wonder Girls, duh.
Duh.
That's like our era. That's like
Yeah.
our era of K-pop. But I could not get behind that song. Like I didn't
I
like
don't know
it
if
at all.
I don't know if I like it or not. I don't know if I like it or not. But I felt the same way when she did the little rap portion
That
or the
it didn't
break.
the rap didn't make sense at all, and it was like in English and none of the words like formed complete thoughts or sentences, and I was like,
I
what the
mean,
heck is
look,
going on?
listen, they're trying their best over there. They're
I
just
mean, she speaks English though. She
I
knows better.
who wrote. Do we know who wrote the lyrics? Because maybe she couldn't help that.
Oh, true. That rap though. I'm
I listen. Whenever a K-pop group does English anytime, I leave it to God and I don't.
it's in your hands.
It's in your hands, and if they just fumble, you know what? They tried. They do their very best, and it is what it is. What I will say is that Sunmi's her that music video was so good. The
So
music video
her.
was it was the whole
Ever
team killed it.
ever since
Like
she has gone solo, I've loved her music videos, but like her songs themselves have been a hit and a miss. But that
mhm.
music video was very good and very fun to watch.
It was really good. Like, it was so fun. And she looked so good throughout the whole thing. She looked hot. Like, when she was like dancing on the car and the zombies were like, around her, they're basically her fans.
I'm
And
just gonna eat you, but I love you.
where she was the slow motion scene where she was shooting them, and then she had her little fight scene at the end. That was
Oh,
cute.
the I love the like random break and pause from the video just to do the fight scene. That was so funny.
It looked like she had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. This isn't a song I would play either,
I
but I
couldn't get
can't.
behind the retro
Yeah, I feel like
for
it's
me.
just too retro.
Yeah, I've
But
never been a fan of that like 70s, 80s
well,
music, I
I
guess.
do like it. It just
Well, I like
depends.
it, but not when it sounds like that retro phone sound. I don't know how to explain it. Like that sound that she had as like the background music.
Hmm.
I've never been able to do like
Really?
that
Okay,
portion of the
so
70s, 80s, whatever era that
J-pop,
was.
J-pop era of that time, retro era, whatever you want to call it. I have a great playlist that I don't. I just felt like something was missing, or it was just too much and not enough. I
Yeah,
don't
no,
know. I can't even say anything
I
because
do
all the
think
old
there was
ones.
something missing from this song to make me actually like it.
Yeah. But if we're trying to bring retro back, I don't know. J-pop is great when it comes to retro. I have to send you the playlist and I have to see if you like it because
Okay,
it's in my work playlist. I play it while obviously I'm
I'm working.
doing graphic design stuff. But
Yeah,
for
send it
some
to me
reason
so I can see.
it hits. It really does. You just gotta. It has to be the right song.
I think that is one thing, and for me personally, I've only found very few songs that sound. I'm like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This though, I just couldn't, and I don't know if it was just because it was a straight stream of that same sound
Mm-hmm.
and like the same cadence, and I was just like, is anything gonna change besides that rap break that was there.
Yeah,
That
maybe it was because it was too
wasn't even
repetitive.
coherent.
It probably was just too repetitive.
It was just missing something.
I don't know.
But
We're
the
not
music
music
video,
experts.
yeah, no, we're not. But I wasn't a huge fan of it. But I will always watch Sunmi's music videos, and that music video was great. Like I might not like the song, but I definitely watched the music video again.
Oh yeah, I would watch it multiple times because the moment they did the intro title, I was like, oh, they're about to kill it. Because whenever you have a title that looks like a movie, you know they were in their bag, and they were in the bag.
Agreed. Okay, well, I just remembered now that we were talking about all these
Hmm.
girl groups. I just remembered, did you hear the news that Hyolyn and Dasam from
Sister?
Yeah, Sister are doing a unit? They're coming back with a unit.
Oh my god, I'm ready.
There's a teaser out. I haven't watched it,
There's a
but talking
teaser?
about yeah, there's a teaser. I haven't watched it, but I think it's called Summer or Summer. But it's Hyolyn and Dawson.
Oh my
And I was
gosh.
I was like, Lacey, I forgot to send it to you, and then as we were talking, I was like, oh wait. But I was like, Lacey's gonna be so
Oh
excited.
my
It's his star.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I love them.
I know you do. And their like going away song when they disbanded
Hmm.
was not satisfying at all just because of the way it happened
Because it
and
was
like
so
how
sudden, and it
yeah,
was like a summer
it
bop, so it wasn't really. I don't know. I thought it was a summer bop, so it wasn't really anything
no, and it just
crazy.
happened out of nowhere and was super sudden, and there was no time to prepare, and then they just gave you the song as a goodbye, and I was like, this is the worst disbandment news that I've ever gotten. So
Well, at least they're
I'm
back.
I'm yeah, I'm happy that I hope we could have like a whole comeback with them someday. That would be really nice. But
Come
just
on,
two of
show
them
the
is
girls
good.
how it's done. Show it's done.
Just two of them, right? I'm excited for all these summer comebacks that are happening, even though August is like jam packed and I'm also feeling overwhelmed. But at the
Mhm.
same time, for like the last 3 or 4 years since they've disbanded, I don't even remember when it happened. I've just been like, I need Sistar. I need their summer jams. I need like a summer comeback from Sistar. Nobody does it like them.
There are just a lot of artists or groups where I'm just like, man, what I would give to just have just another blank, like another song that's like this, and they're one of them, and another person
They
that's
are. They
definitely
always had the best summer comebacks. Like
always.
literally no one that I can think of, no group that I can think of, boy or girl group, has ever had a good summer comeback like they have. They knew the recipe.
Hmm.
I don't know how else to explain it. They just knew the recipe.
So I'm excited for them. I'm gonna put them on my queue right
I
now.
thought, yeah, I was like, I just remembered this news, but Lacey's gonna be so excited.
This is making me happy because we have Sistar, we got manga that's coming back,
Yeah, Bleach, which
Bleach,
this isn't a manga
and
podcast, but
oh, it's gonna be a fusion. I don't care anymore. It's gonna be the Bleach is coming back, and then the Full Metal Alchemist author is doing another manga series.
ooh, I didn't hear that news.
Yes.
That's good.
So
That's
I don't know. I'm
exciting.
very curious and excited about it. Where do you know what Sistars is? It still under Starship or is it gonna be under?
I don't know actually, because I don't know if they're in Starship anymore. I don't know if they're still signed too. It'll likely no, Hyolyn I don't think is signed to Starship anymore. It'll likely be under just on YouTube under Stone Music. That's usually a partner for music distribution.
Click. I'm determined. Oh my gosh,
There
it's
we
right
go.
there. Okay, I'm gonna save it for later. I'm gonna watch it later.
Good, yes. I have to watch it too. Red Velvet is also coming back, which we mentioned in the last episode,
Hmm.
but they've dropped photo teasers now. I don't know if you've seen
I
those.
saw a little bit of them. I mean, they look beautiful. I'm not sure what else to say. Like, they just look gorgeous.
I'm interested in the concept because it's going to be the comeback is called Queendom, and
Hmm.
like some of the teasers they've dropped photo wise have been kind of retro
Oh
feeling
yeah, it's
with that
definitely
like that orange
vintage.
brown, yeah, vintage editing. And then the
Hmm.
most recent photos that I saw, they were like in suits and dresses and they looked really good, and I was like, whoa.
Well, I feel like they both give off the same thing. Like the music video is also vintage and retro with those suits that you were talking about. Like,
Oh
are they in
yeah.
all black? Or most of them are in all black?
Most of them, yeah, are in all black. Sulgi has like the long pant
Mm-hmm.
suit,
Mm-hmm.
and then Irene has on the white like dress suit.
I have no idea what this concept is about to be, but
That's the nice thing with Red Velvet though, is you always get a surprise.
but I'm excited for them.
I like to joke that SM has no idea what they're doing with half of their concepts sometimes, especially when they try and they merge all of these universes that they've come up with like NCT and aespa now and EXO. I like to joke that they have no clue what they're doing. They're just like, this is a good idea, and then once they get to a certain point, they're like, we kind of lost
It's too
the
many hands in the
idea.
pot.
Yeah. The nice thing is with that confusion, something good always comes out of it for Red Velvet.
It's been hits on top of hits, and
It is.
if they're following, the thing is that they're sticking to this dark undertone that just really
That's what I
always
love.
works.
I love their music videos so much and their concepts so much because they have like these concepts that and like teasers sometimes and even songs like Zimzalabim I mentioned wasn't my favorite, for
It's not
example, but like it's like these concepts and songs that some people might look at and be like, that's odd or that's weird or that's strange, but then also like they've got this whole thing down where they've got the bright visuals and then the dark undertones or like meanings in their music videos. I love it so much.
I've
They
literally
do it so well
I've literally
too.
never noticed the dark concept until someone on Tumblr was posting about their theories behind it.
Really?
I've never noticed it, and then I mean, girl, I
How
barely
though?
notice
Because
my days. So I'm so
I mean,
because it's so with Red Velvet, it's so bright, and
it's
for
distracting
me,
you.
it's with K-pop videos, it's a lot to pay attention to in general because it's a pop video,
True.
and
That surprises me because Russian Roulette,
I mean,
that was the one, and Peekaboo as well, but Russian Roulette was the one that was like really bright, but they were trying to kill each other, Lacey.
I don't
They
know.
were
When the
literally, they were,
song is that good and then it's just I don't know. I get distracted easily. I haven't really paid attention to to their music videos like that because they're so gorgeous and it's so bright the entire time. I would have to watch it more than once, and I don't watch them more than once. The only time I've ever
more
watched
than,
something more
okay.
than once was Dum Dum, and that was because it was like people were doing reactions to
To
the
it.
video and they were like music
That's,
experts, so that's the only reason why I would watch
if
it more than
someone's
once.
reacting.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. I'm surprised because, like I said, Russian Roulette, the dark undertones, they were literally going around trying to kill each other.
That's
Or like,
literally it. Just never settled in for me. I don't know. I don't have an answer to tell you why. I'm just like, it's another great video. They look gorgeous like always. Love this song. I think I don't know. Like their songs are so
they're
good.
good.
And there's so much
There's nothing
happening.
else to
It's
say.
so much happening in those songs that I get engrossed in that more than the video.
Yeah, they do have, I don't know, their
I don't
sound.
know what
I
it
love their
is.
sound, but there's just something that it's like the song itself has a personality of its own. There's just, like you said, so much going on in their songs
Like
sometimes.
Psycho, something is in these tracks. Dum Dum, I don't know what is in that song.
Peekaboo
It's
for me,
Peekaboo
that was so
too.
addicting when it came out.
It's literal. I don't know. Like when they harmonize or they use a synthesizer with some of their voices throughout the track, it is good. It is so good. Like I was replaying a lot of their tracks this past week because of the teasers that came out. And I was like, "Oh my, what are y'all putting in these tracks?" I would have to run the tracks back. I need to experience that like 4 more times before I can move on to the next track. It's right. You're right. Peekaboo, Bad Boy, Psycho.
Bad Boy, yeah. Bad Boy was one that I didn't like to start with, and then it's like you said, what are they putting in these tracks? Because it came back to
Mm-hmm.
me when it had first released. It just came back, and I was like, when did I start liking this song? I don't actually remember, because when it first released, I thought I didn't like it,
Mm-hmm.
especially because it was a follow-up to
Mm-hmm.
Peekaboo. I was like, I just can't get behind it. And then all of a sudden I was like, dang, I really like this
Like something kind of
song.
crazy. All of them, all of the tracks, y'all it's great. So I'm so engrossed in the song. I can't. You can literally call me dumb. I just don't care. Like, those songs are so good that I
They
can't
are.
even tell you what each music video was about, because I don't remember. I just know the song was good and they were in their bag. Book closed. Done.
But cool.
Next group.
Well, since we were talking about, I guess we can move on to the boys.
I was just too busy trying to keep up with each member that was popping
All
up
of the
on the
flashing
screen. And I was
members.
like, wow, he's beautiful. Oh my God, he's beautiful
Whoa.
too. Oh, this is who did the graphics? Like, wow, I want this is literally what I'm thinking. And then, like, halfway through, I was thinking about, the text that's going across the screen the entire time.
Yeah.
For literally the rest of the video, I was like, so I know they put that in a separate composition on After Effects. So how are they repeating this text? That's what I was thinking. I wasn't even thinking about I was thinking about design stuff. Everything, all the transitions and cuts, I was like, okay, I know how they did that. Okay, that's cool.
Well, I'm glad they still caught your eye with that, at
But
least.
that just tells you, like, I literally spent the last, I don't know how long that video was, but by the time it ended, I was like, I was really sitting here for like 2 minutes trying to figure
Just
out
stay.
how they repeated the text. And I was like, what can I go in the search bar for this tutorial? Because I'm just curious. I didn't get past that. I moved on. That's just stuff I think about. It's really sad.
Well, I'm glad they at least visually caught your attention, but they're Nightmares and then Merry Go Bad, which is the one that was right after it. So songs 4 and 5 in that medley, they didn't sound like the rest of the album. And now, when I say that, Nightmares, it was completely different. Like, it sounded dark in comparison to all the other brighter songs. But Merry Bad Ending, or Merry Go Bad? No, Merry Bad Ending. Why did I say Merry Go Bad? Because Merry Go Round. Merry Bad Ending sounded lighter. It sounded like it might have like a chorus drop that's unexpected. But that's just a theory, so I guess we'll see.
It just looked very bright and summery to
Yeah, but they haven't done a bright and summery comeback in a while, so this was kind of needed, I think, by this
So I
group.
think when you mentioned those dark tracks,
I mean, I saw it in an interview.
those were probably the ones where when I was listening, I was like, "Oh, this one sounds like some," but I was not keeping up. Oh, this track title.
You were paying attention
I
to
was just trying to get
the font rolling
yeah,
across the.
but I was listening to it as a whole instead of
Yeah.
really pointing out which tracks I feel like I would like. I was just like, "Oh, it sounds like it sounded like something I would enjoy." That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Well, all I can say is I saw an interview that said that they were trying to go for like a slightly surprise, weird, creepy concept.
Well, if they're doing
I
that, I
quoted
can't wait
it
to
in the
see it in
last
the video
episode.
because it's so bright and happy.
I'm hoping that there's a twist in the video.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm hoping that there's something
Mm-hmm.
there. So that was it for the slated comeback so far. I think On and Off is coming back as well this month, the same day as the boys. I think Astro had a comeback at the start of this month. A girl group that I like called Weekly had a comeback, which I didn't know about, and then I just saw the music video on my feed and I was like, oh, I'm gonna listen. Tomorrow X Together is having a comeback, and then Stray Kids are having a comeback.
Speaking of,
there's a lot of comebacks. Yeah, speaking of Stray
I tried
Kids,
looking this up.
I
Did you look
finally
it up?
I figured it out. I got
Oh,
this. I
right.
figured
Let's
it out. I just
go.
needed to not be on my phone at work trying to find out why Bing Chan was trending, to which I didn't understand. I was like, what the heck did he do? And people, of course, when your K-pop idol starts to negatively trend, everybody floods the tags like, oh, my poor baby, I still support you. And I'm like, you guys, I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. That's how I felt today. I was so
Whoa.
frustrated because I like Stray Kids and Jeremy likes Stray Kids.
I know
And
you
so I
like
was
Stray
like,
Kids.
the
And
heck happened? The
I
heck
know about
happened?
Stray Kids, so tell us what's going on.
So there was a show or something. They were either in a show or on like one of the platforms that you pay for, like the fan applications on your phone, those platforms that you kind of pay to see extra
Hmm.
content. They were doing some sort of like, I didn't get all of the information, but a video on this platform was released in which they were either playing some sort of game or something, and Chan, the leader, Bing Chan, was imitating a pose from Childish Gambino, who was imitating a scene from This Is America, and it was, the Jim Crow
Hmm.
pose for the poster.
Hmm.
It was that pose,
But what was the
and people
concept
are
of
called
him doing that
I don't
pose?
know what the video was or what the game. Well, he was imitating Childish Gambino, who Childish Gambino was imitating the Jim
Well, that's what
Crow
I'm
pose,
saying.
like
Like, was it a
poster.
game that they had to guess the celebrity or the music video? I
Let
think that's my
me see
question.
if I can find
Because I
out.
saw that and I was like, I just want more context to know. Because
Yeah,
that's really like, I don't know, y'all. I don't know.
people are calling him racist now though.
I feel
And
like if it was like a game where you had to guess the artist, Coming to America was like the biggest music video for Childish Gambino currently, and that is unfortunately a pose that everybody would probably be able to point out from Childish Gambino if that was like a guess, you know. But I don't know that I don't know, y'all.
okay, I looked it up a little bit while Lacey was talking, and apparently he was just dancing to Childish Gambino's song. And in the music video, Childish Gambino does that
Yeah,
pose, and so Chan imitated the pose.
so he's racist.
And like I said, yeah, and so like I said, it blew up, and people are calling him racist. And now that I'm looking, this video is old too.
Well, I don't
This
think
isn't
I
a
just
this isn't a recent thing that happened.
oh like
This
them
some
that
so somebody
streaming
like dug
thing.
somebody dug up apparently this video, or I don't mean to accuse that they dug up the video,
I
but
just I
apparently
don't know, y'all. Like, I don't think he's racist. I think he was just trying to imitate the video. Like, is he from America?
no, he's Australian.
Is he? So does he? I don't know. You see what you
Well, he speaks
understand?
English.
Like,
He's Korean
I
Australian.
would.
Australian Korean.
I if this was like a J part, I'd be like, come on, my guy. Like, you should know. But I don't. I didn't even watch Coming to America because I'm black, so I just don't. I don't want it. I don't need it. I didn't watch it. I didn't really care about the song. I'm kind of tired of black people telling other people that black people are being killed and, stereotyped, and everybody hates black people. I'm kind of tired of black people saying that all the time. So when that video came out, I was really, social media at the time was really overwhelming. So I kind of tapped out of that. So it's just, the internet is, I don't really have any words about it, but I don't think he's racist because of that pose. Because if you're not even like,
It's not too looking because I found the video now, and Ujin is in it. This is like super old because he's been gone from the group for almost 2 years now. He got kicked out.
ooh,
One of the members,
mm-hmm,
Ujin, he got like kicked out of the group essentially.
why?
That's its whole other thing. There's a lot of rumors and
Oh,
controversy
don't worry
surrounding
about
that.
it.
I couldn't
Don't
even
even worry
tell you.
about it.
I couldn't even tell you in one episode without this
Don't worry about
going
it.
over an
Don't worry about
hour,
it.
but he's in this. So I'm like, this video is at least 2 years or more older, but he's just dancing along now that I'm watching it. So I can't even say.
Yeah, maybe he
I mean,
was
I feel
just
like
literally
you've
mimicking the
well, he's
video.
dancing along, so he was probably mimicking the music
Mm-hmm.
video in which Childish Gambino did it himself. And so I'm like, how do you immediately jump to the conclusion that he's racist because he was
And if you're not from
dancing and
America,
then
how would you know that's a Jim Crow law?
yeah, he's Australian. He's
He's
not
not even from the
even
States to
American.
know what Jim Crow is. And I can guarantee you that there are people in this state that they've never heard the word Jim Crow. So I don't know. That's why I just feel like if he was from America and he knew English that well and he was like raised
In
in
America,
America,
it'd be a little bit
I
different.
would be like even if you don't really know about Jim Crow, you definitely definitely know what the video is about, if anything. That's just how I feel. I hate me if you want to, but I don't think he was doing it to be
Intentionally
racist.
harmful.
Mm-mm. I think he was just in the moment and he was mimicking the music video during whatever that was. And somebody looked back at it and be like, wait a minute, this isn't right. I guess. I don't like
It's
touching
really,
stuff like this, especially when it's blown up by a fan base and there's no, I don't know, like this recently just became a trending topic, right?
yeah. Well, it looks like the videos from 2019. I'm still looking as you're
But
talking.
if it's
Looks like
just now
the
blowing
videos from
up, I
2019,
just
and it's just blowing up before their comeback,
I don't
and
like this stuff.
it's a child. Well, how do you not? If you were upset
Why
about
weren't
it,
you
why didn't you
upset
say something
then?
back in 2019? Why weren't you upset then? Like, why is it blowing up now? It's 2 years. Like, he's had to have changed by then. So I'm just like, why, if you were mad about it, why were you not mad about it back then? And
Mm.
if you knew it was from This Is America and that Childish Gambino music video, and you knew that's what it was in regards to, why didn't you say anything back then? Why is it a thing right
I
now?
don't have an answer for that.
I know you don't. I'm just asking, like, maybe someone can answer me nicely, of course. But I don't.
If he was literally like, oh my god, black people be like, and it's just like this childish Gambino thing, I'd be like, okay, well,
Well, like, I'm watching it and he's literally started dancing along to the song. I'll text it to you. But he literally started dancing along to the song, and then he just happened to do that pose from the music video, which Childish Gambino did. So how it's not like he was intentionally being harmful. Like, I can't see it as that. And since, as you pointed out, he's Australian, he might know about the social issues going on in the world because he does speak English and he's fluent and he's from Australia, but that Jim Crow was a very American specific thing.
and who knows, maybe he looks back on his moment before this happened. It was like, that's
He
probably
already
not.
issued, yeah, he issued an apology already too. Not public, it's on the Bubble app, which is the app that it ended up being posted on, or that this video was dug up about. But also, you have to keep in mind that JYP probably won't let him make a public apology for this.
Mm-mm.
So he did take it upon himself, though, to make an apology. But I just
A
feel like it
mess.
got blown out of proportion calling him racist like this anyway. Because it's not like he did it.
I just don't think he did it on purpose.
Yeah, that I don't think he did either. Anyway, I sent it to you. But it always, all these things, it's really ironic how these things always happen before comeback.
Whenever racist stuff like this happens, I'm always the one to try to like wait it out to get the full story instead of just jumping in on what's going
To
on. Because like
conclusions.
even just
Yeah.
going through the I'm going through Twitter right now. It's I don't even
Well,
know.
that's why he was trending, and I was like trying to find out why he was trending, and I couldn't find out. And Twitter is like the worst possible place to get news for
I know
anything.
that's why I don't like relying on it. Like somebody did a post. Like when it comes to, I see this one post and it has a picture of one of the idols. It has like the afro, the thick brows, and the red lips, which these idols always do still in some of these shows. And I'm just like, y'all have to know this is racist. That's where I'm just like, y'all should know by now that this is not okay. Like people have been saying this is not a good look forever, and y'all are still doing it. I don't know. Y'all gonna say this stuff and then act like it don't matter a few months later. I don't really understand. Like,
Yeah, it's gonna blow
it's
up
how I
before this
feel
comeback, and then
about
it's gonna go
like
silent.
Kanye. It's how I feel about J Part. Like, if y'all are really, to me, I feel like if you guys are this serious about, pointing this out with idols and wanting to see, or not even wanting to see results, you just want them to not be relevant anymore, then you should just not talk
People
about it anymore. Like with
people
Kanye,
just want,
like people say they don't like Kanye anymore.
but they still make him relevant because
Well,
they're
no, it's not
complaining
that.
about him and looking
It's
him up,
because
and
they
that
say
sort of
that,
thing.
but they
Like,
don't mean it. because it's Kanye.
Yeah.
Like,
People just want a reason to be mad
I don't know.
too,
Like,
which
if
I
you
don't
really feel this
understand because it
way,
takes more energy to be upset
just
about
ignore it.
something
Because
than
I've
it
been
does to just
ignoring Kanye
ignore.
because he's been off the wall and he hasn't showed any type of results of showing change. And then, like, he's in our stadium playing his album stuff, and I don't know. If y'all mean it, really show it, because every time J Park does something crazy, y'all do the same thing, and I don't see anything different. I just don't. It's like, oh, he did this and it's really racist and I don't want to support him anymore. But then he comes out with another track and you're just like, oh, this track really slaps. I love J Park. I'm not saying that's everybody, but I'm just saying that is just sometimes how I feel in regards to stuff like this happen.
Yeah.
So if this, like, if Stray Kids or one of the members does something like extremely out of line the next time, then I would literally be like, okay, but did they not learn from this current lesson that we're talking about right now?
Yeah. And the thing with this is this current lesson is from 2 years ago. And so I'm still
but
Well, yeah,
when
but
it's
I'm still
blown up like
confused.
this,
Yeah, and I mean he issued an apology, so at least they're aware of it, but I'm still confused about the fact of like why weren't you guys mad about it 2 years ago?
and yeah, it was more sensitive 2 years ago than it
Yeah.
is. I mean, United States is something else. I won't say a lot about it, but like,
a
it's worse than
wormhole. It's a wormhole.
I think saying it's a
come here.
wormhole was being really nice. I just feel like this topic should have been more sensitive 2 years ago, and maybe it was, and nobody was listening because Stray Kids was becoming popular during that time. So people were kind of like ignoring the issue, and now they're bigger. They're trying to bring this up again. It could be that because like,
Yeah,
what that's happened to other artists before. Like, I feel like that's happened
it
with,
has,
even
and
when
it's
I was
always
in
before
K-pop. I feel like that
comebacks.
happened to a lot of the rappers. Like, I know that happened with Zico a couple times.
Yep.
And I know that happened with Jungkook.
Yep.
That happened
And
with
it's
him.
always before comebacks.
I mean, I'm forgetting a lot, but that's always happened. So hopefully he's learned his lesson. I'm sorry you're a trending topic on the internet. That fucking sucks because people and on Twitter, like, sorry. Like, hopefully I don't know. Don't do it again. I have no idea. Like, these idols are not taking history lessons because they're too busy practicing singing and dancing. None of these idols are taking Black history lessons.
Well, another thing that gets me too, I think we mentioned this in a previous episode or we talked about it at some point, I don't remember, but it's like they're public figures. They're exactly that. They're public figures. And a lot of them are a part of companies that aren't going to let them say shit and do shit and show us a side for who they and what they stand for publicly because it's part of their contract. And people spend so much energy getting angry at these artists that might not be able to say anything at all or do anything. And it's like, for me, I'm just like, if you're so mad about it, do something yourself. Donate to all of the causes that are out there. Take action at home where you're at yourself.
Well, I don't
personally.
think it's fair to say that because they probably do. I think the issue is that if you don't want to support them anymore, then just do that. You can speak out about this, and that's what they're supposed to do, and that's what you're supposed to do when you see something that you deem is wrong. I'm not saying.
Yeah, and I'm not saying don't speak
Well,
out
I mean, you're
about things
saying
that you deem
like
is wrong.
they
either.
should keep that same energy, but you don't know these people. They could be keeping the same energy, like outside of the K-pop world. I think of it from perspective of when it comes to the idol life, these people are very busy. So I just don't think that they are immersed in internet culture or the culture around the world often like we are to understand what's right and wrong. So
Well, there's also, for me, one thing that bothers me about people like wanting to cancel idols immediately after calling them out. Like, okay, if you want to do that, that is fine. You're entitled to your opinion, and if it has hurt your feelings or has affected you, okay. But I do think, like, for example, with the I am in Israel stuff that was popping up, that's a major issue. And Korea is an ally of Israel. Like, they've got trade ties, and the US has trade ties as well, despite everything that's going on in Israel. And for me, it's like Chang Kyun just said that he lived there, and he happened to have a fan call with a person who you don't know specifically. You don't know that individual from Israel or what they believe in, that sort of thing. And like his job is to be an idol, so he had to be nice to that person in the fan call who paid money. Was he supposed to just hang up on the person who spent? Because like I'm just gonna be honest and say I've spent at least $200 on fan calls, and a lot of it's not like my money specifically. People have bought albums from me, but they're not cheap. So was he supposed to hang up on that person that spent $200 and be
Well, I
mean
think
to
that
them?
goes back to my comment of saying that they're idols. They're not in social media.
Well, that's what I was getting at, is they not even just they're not in social media. For that example, for the Korea
Mhm.
Israel thing, that is such a huge social issue that they are contractually limited. Chang Kyun probably can't speak out on something like that without losing his job. And I think that's where like the energy that people pour into like calling idols out, they might keep it offline, but at the same time I'm like, do they also realize the limitations that these idols might have with their contract,
Well,
and
no, they
also
don't
like
think
you were
about that.
saying, being
People don't
exposed?
think about that on the internet. That's the
Well,
internet.
that's what I was getting at when
Hmm.
you had like backtracked and said like, well, you don't know if they're keeping the same energy. My point was, I meant that like, do they realize they have like, this is their job? They might not be allowed to speak on these
Oh
things.
no, that's not what I was getting from what you were saying.
Okay. I think there was that's why I tried to explain, because I
Hmm.
was like, I think there's a misunderstanding. I'm not
Yeah,
explaining
at least
myself.
you cleared that up because that's not what it sounded
Yeah,
like.
that's not what I meant. I was trying to just broadly explain, like, I don't think people who have this energy and are calling idols out, I don't think they realize this is their job, and like you were saying, they're not always exposed to these social issues, but also they are under a contract. And for me, the easiest explanation of it is South Korea, Israel, and US, their trade ties. He probably most likely could lose his job if he speaks out against that, because that's such a major issue that's way out of his
Well,
league.
like, just, I think if we try to think about these topics from all viewpoints, it gets very complicated. And not complicated, but I understand each viewpoint. So when it comes to the fans and this reaction, you have to think about how we acted when we were younger. And I can guarantee you, we've had moments like this. So
Yeah, no, I know
no,
we
but I'm
have.
just saying that. I'm just saying that to the listeners. I'm saying that to the listeners to really like when you. I don't know. Maybe it's just age for me, but
It comes with
I'm
age.
always thinking about, or I try to think about each viewpoint and where they are. So I get why people are upset this way, and I understand how younger people are even more angry than than people maybe our age could be, because each generation is different. So each generation has its sensitivities and has lines they feel like that shouldn't be crossed. And if it's crossed, it's just not acceptable. Whereas, other people just feel like, let's just, give them a chance and so on. Like each viewpoint is different, like we're talking about, even with the idols, with the companies. It all comes down to a lot of factors to how this was executed. So it's always hard. It's hard for me to react sometimes to these topics, depending on what it's about. That's why I'm always on the fence about some of them. Some of them I completely agree with. Other ones I'm just kind of, I don't know. I'm just gonna chill right here on the fence and see.
And
Yeah,
wait,
because
yeah.
I don't know. It's just that complicated. But like I said, if anything else happens with Stray Kids in the future involving anything racist, it really will depend on what it is. And at this point, it's just kind of like, if you see this reaction, try not to let it happen again. And if you let it happen again, depending on what it is, it's just kind of like, what the heck? Like the whole hair, like the braided hair. This is a whole episode we could talk about
Yeah.
with like cultural appropriation in K-pop. It's a whole episode because I've been on both extremes.
Yeah.
And now at this point, I mean, I'm not really into K-pop like that anymore. I'm getting back into it, but I can definitely say I've changed since then. But I don't know. We'll see what happens with this episode, Chum, because I know we made some people very upset from the stuff that we've
Yeah,
said.
we probably
And
said.
just saying that, it's people change, and that's something that people need to always think about, is that people change in a year, they could change in a month, they can change in a week, and they can change within hours. So like, I always bring up the example of Jeffree Star. Like, he's obviously has not changed.
Yes.
And you
We mentioned
and that's just someone
before.
you can clearly tell hasn't changed, and the same issues pop up over and over and over again, and his reaction is the same every single time. It's like, you can tell when people aren't genuine and aren't serious and continue on, and nothing is affected. So I'm trying not to consider, all these K-pop idols being a Jeffree Star. I'm hoping that they change and they become more self-aware when stuff like this happens.
And I think one thing to remember too is that just because you can't see the change doesn't mean it's not happening. Because going back to what I was saying, they might have company restrictions. Like, I know when we first got into K-pop, social media was super strict. Like, what were K-pop idols allowed to say, do, and
And I'm
share on
sure now
social
that they
media?
have it now,
Like, I
they're probably
always
like, what did we do?
we don't
don't
want
wanna
this
do it
anymore.
I remember when that was impossible to get any idols on any social media.
Yeah. And if they did have a social media, it was only for the group. And I'm like 99% certain their managers probably proofread
Oh
every single
yeah, I
thing
don't
that they
even think they
posted.
posted.
Or
I don't
posted
even
it.
think they were
Or posted it
posting.
for them.
I think they were just asking the question before they got on their performance stage and posted the answer for them. Like, social media, it's just wow. Just compared to then to now, I don't know, y'all. Like, it's in my little mental notebook, and if something else pops up, then we'll circle back to it. I mean,
You would just keep an
I
eye on
just
it
have
and
more
see what
questions
happens.
about. I don't think I have questions about companies, but I would always wonder about companies when it would come to stuff like this, like being a K-pop fan and seeing groups and artists be called out for racist things. That was always, it wasn't a thought on my mind when I was younger, but now that I'm older, I'm just like trying to get a better understanding of how things are, and it makes more sense why some idols may not know what's offensive and what's not, and some things
Whereas with J Park, it
doesn't,
doesn't.
because and even when it comes to what they wear, they probably don't have control over that. Like, you have to think, it's not just them they don't call the shots. They have a whole team that does everything for them. You have your own stylist, you have your own art directors, you have teams upon teams that set the look and feel of these groups, and they stick to it to a T. So it's not like the idol can be like, oh my god, I don't like this hairstyle, or I hate this outfit.
And even if they
That doesn't
do,
matter.
they might
Yeah,
be
it doesn't
turned
matter.
down.
You gotta
Yeah.
shoot.
Even if they do, they
Yeah.
might be turned
Like,
down.
we've been here for 12 hours. You're gonna do this shot in this style because that's what it's been like for the past 2 days when we're shooting this. So we don't have an extra outfit. You're gonna have to make it work. Like, we spent 3-4 hours on this. We don't have time. This is the schedule. Go out there and do it, record, and we have to go to the next thing. That's the stuff I'm always considering. And they're not on the internet like that. They're just not.
Got too many things to do.
Yeah, I cannot imagine any idol taking the time out of their day to constantly be immersed in stuff that's happening in the States or anywhere else all the time like we do. Because we're able to clock out.
Yeah.
We're able to clock out and go home. And if they're able to clock out, the first thing they're probably doing is trying to find something to eat or sleep. I don't want that life. So I can only imagine. Sounds really rough. But that's just like a whole tangent. I don't know. It's not a tangent. It's just a discussion that's always going to be very long.
Yeah, it's not a short discussion ever. Heck, the reason we started this podcast was because of a novel length discussion about literally the same thing.
And like, you never know. We could listen back to this episode and be like, I feel completely different from what I said
years ago or 4
yeah,
episodes
like we could
ago.
change our minds in the next week or the next 24 hours. Like you never know.
Yep.
That's just how we are as humans. I think we have the right to fix our mistakes and to change the way we think if given the chance. You just got to give people the chance. You can't give some people a chance and others not at all because it's just been done so many times. So yeah,
that was it. For
I
now.
think that was a good discussion.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always liked discussing stuff like that just
Yeah.
because of how fast the internet works, just how different things are now compared to how they were
In
when we first got
comparison.
into K-pop.
Yeah, definitely. Everything is
Or even just
instantaneous
involved in the
now,
internet
essentially.
compared to how we first were, how we first started out with the internet, and then how we are currently. Like it's changed a lot, and everything is so fast. It's very fascinating and scary at the same time.
Yeah. Well, do you have anything else to add for this episode?
I don't think so. No.
No. Okay. Well, we will probably likely have
Yeah.
more discussions like this in the future, for sure. If not in one episode, then definitely in mixed in like it was today.
If this was controversial for you, you gotta get used to it because I'm
Everybody.
black and Raina's white, and we have to just because of that, it's gonna always be different.
Yes, and everybody has their own opinions too.
And you also have to be comfortable
with discussing
discussions like this.
Yes. And not just assuming you're right, they're wrong, that sort of deal. Like you have to be able to talk it out like Lacey and I did today. That is just part of being an adult, and that's part of being a person, and is part of life. Like if you think you're wrong or you think you're right, you should be able to present your point as to why you believe that.
And even though we cut each other off, it's because we're passionate.
Yeah, we're passionate. We're not arguing.
No, it's because we also respect each other enough to listen to each other, because this could have went
a south direction.
It could have went so many different ways if we were just not open to that. I don't like, and Raina knows this, probably I would guess you would, I don't like really talking about racism all the time. It's very draining. I know for me, K-pop was an escapism for me, just like the internet is. And I understand how the internet's helpful when it comes to those things, because it makes you very aware of the reality. But being black and being faced with that all the time is very exhausting.
And I think that's one thing that people have to remember as well, is that if there are people out there that take a break from social media or take a step back from certain things concerning these issues, it's really overstimulating sometimes and very mentally difficult, whether you're a person of color or otherwise, to just take in all the negativity that's going on in the world. And so I would say don't judge people if they need to take a step back. That does not mean that they don't care, doesn't mean that they're not aware of what's going on. But like Lacey said, she gets tired, and I don't blame her for that. It is tiring to have one bad thing after another just constantly on your feet all the time.
And then I gotta go to going to K-pop. Oh my god, it's here too.
It's here too, yeah.
So what exactly can I do to escape from it for at least the time I'm on my phone doing something I should enjoy? So I don't know. Take your breaks, guys. But I just hope you guys thought that our discussion was interesting, and if you disagree with us, honestly, that's fine. I respect everybody's opinions when it comes to topics such as this, because I get it. I get all sides. That's just what I want to stress, is that I just don't want people to listen to this and think that, oh my god, they just
we do care.
They just love K-pop and Asian people so much that they just ignore the issues. That's not what I want, because it's not what it is at all.
No, and that's not even the reason that we started this podcast. The intention of this was to be able to talk about things like this issue and have discussions about it. So yeah, we're here for fun, but sometimes these topics will come up, and I hope people can either gain insight from it, or if they disagree, present their own insight for us. But I hope at the end of everything that no matter what direction you go, if you gain insight or if you're you're presenting your own insight, that you at least respect the other parties involved.
Yeah, and if you're really that passionate about it, you have your own way to dealing with that. Because I know I do towards certain artists in general. So wasn't expecting to end off like
Yeah,
this.
no, but it was still a good episode. It started off good, ended like this. I mean, it with that kind of topic, it had to go in that direction.
I just don't want people to be turned off by it.
Yeah, but I mean,
you can't help it.
Yeah, it's sometimes people are gonna listen to
what it is.
something, and yeah, it is what it is. They'll listen to it and like it, or they'll listen to it and like the first half and not the second. We'll just have to wait and see. But that's it for today. Thank you guys for listening, though. Of course, as always, we are active on Twitter. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook. Like, comment, rate the episode. Obviously, we said some things, as we mentioned, that might be controversial.
I feel like if anyone's gonna rate an episode, it's gonna be this
This one, right? Be nice, though. That is our disclaimer at the start of the episode, and we're going to end it with that as well. Be nice. If you have an opinion, be nice about it. We are open to opinions, but don't come into the episode rating and comments and be a jerk
or at
about
least
things.
listen to the whole thing. Like, don't listen, like, I mean, it's kind of too late.
Yeah, if they didn't make it to this point, then it doesn't matter.
It's too late now. But
Rip.
If you listened this far, I'm so proud of you for listening and
I'm grateful to you.
I know with the first half, you were like, what the heck is about to go down? I don't know about this, y'all. They're saying some things I don't like, but I hope you pulled through.
And I'm grateful to you if you did.
Yeah, you're amazing.
You're doing great. And we appreciate you.
Yeah. We're having a fantastic day. You know it.
You too. Thank you, though, and goodbye.
Bye.